Kendall Jarboe. The man charged with stealing Judy Garland's famous ruby slippers from a Grand Rapids museum has pleaded not guilty. That means his case will go to trial when we could learn a lot more about how he allegedly carried out the crime. Northern News Now's Kara Kopp is following this story for us tonight. Kara?
You'll remember the grand jury indicted Terry Martin a couple weeks ago. Today, the 76-year-old from Grand Rapids made his first court appearance virtually due to his health. That's when he pleaded not guilty to one federal count of theft of a major artwork piece. According to court documents, the burglary happened in 2005. Martin allegedly stole the slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. They had been on display at the Grand Rapids Museum at the time and were estimated to be worth about $100,000. For decades, no one had any idea where they were or who took them. That wasn't until 2018 the slippers were found during a sting operation in Minneapolis. After an investigation, Martin was charged last month, 5 years later. We still don't know exactly why or how Martin took them, but we could learn a lot more during his trial, which is scheduled for August 7th at the federal courthouse in Minneapolis. Prosecutors tell our sister station they plan to introduce evidence showing Martin had co-conspirators and worked with confidential informants.
Thank you, Kara. Martin will